All right, what is happening, folks? Welcome to the Forge. This is Jimmy G, and we got the man, the myth, the legend, Billy the Kid with us. Billy, why don't you introduce yourself and introduce our special guest today?
What's up, folks? Billy the Kid, happy to be here. Hope everybody had a wonderful Easter break, Passover break, whatever it is you're into. I hope it was wonderful. We are here to talk TFCON with none other than Ryan Sheehey, good friend of mine, big part of TFCON. We are so happy to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for the people that don't know who you are?
Well, thank you very much, Billy, and thanks, Jimmy. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you. My name is Ryan Sheehey, and I am the third-party guy for TFCon. I typically set up the third-party panel, and I arrange all the prototypes that we have in the display cases and all that good stuff.
There we go.
Nice. And you have such an amazing beard. I think I commented that on before. Like
Oh,
I was
this whole
telling
thing.
Yeah, I was telling Ryan, like I have to like Sharpie mine in and make it look good, whatever that I have to do on that. So, but yours just looks like it just comes in just
I,
naturally.
I shaved 2 days ago.
Oh wow. Well, that's I this is about, I'm Asian, so when you see Asians with long beards like the old like ancient, ancient kung fu artists, it's
Nice and
because it took
wispy.
them hundreds of years to grow that thing. So, but no, I'm really glad to get to meet you. I'm glad we're going to get ready to talk about some TFCon behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff
Perfect.
that goes on, third party. But let's say hello to some of the people in the chat. So, Billy, what you got in there?
I got Eamon's World of Geeks stating, "Hey, what's up? Finally able to check out the show.
What's
Real
up,
happy to
man?
have you here.
How you
I'm a
doing, Eamon?
fan of yours, so it's real good to have you here." Brick Builder Prime says, "What is up?" And the my favorite name, the Machine Museum and Air and Space, is here to roll out. This is just a great little start. Nice to have everybody here. I can't wait to talk TFCon. I can't wait to talk Transformers, but I think we got some news to get into first, and let's look at some.
Yeah, so we got some news and products, but the very first thing we're going to talk about, we aren't going to get too political here because this show is not about politics, it's about toys. But as you know, the current climate that we have, we do have some things that impact us. So from Fans Hobby, the tariff news has hit, and it said Fans Hobby says due to the tariff issue, we're on hold to take orders from the U.S. in the moment. We shall update our delivery arrangement again beginning May 2025. Sorry for the inconvenience. Shozi store put out a statement too, basically saying effective immediately, air shipments in the United States will incur additional costs. I was able to see that today when I ordered that OSKO of that Shattered Glass Jetfire.
Yep.
They said for all previous pre-order items, they're not going to change the price. They're going to absorb that. But we'll see what happens as everything resolves. But we're seeing this come down from a lot of the third-party companies and a lot of the places that we get stuff. Even first-party, like, even Hasbro, Entertainment Earth, those places are putting out statements too. But I'm of the notion of let's wait and see what happens. I know that everything will be okay and everything will work out. But this is just a minor inconvenience right now. But what are y'all's thoughts so far about the news we're hearing from some of our toy friends?
Well, Eamon believes that it sucks. I definitely agree that it sucks. I'm of the mindset though of let's wait and see what happens. Worst comes to worst. Fortunately, we've got friends all over the world. We can always get things shipped to Europe or somewhere, and they can send them here for us. And we just eat a little bit of shipping costs and still get our figures. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose any sleep yet. Let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we back down a little bit if it boils down to it.
Yeah.
This is taking way more money out of our pockets. I paid an extra $4.95 per figure for some of the things I have coming from showzstore.com. I don't mind paying the $4.95. It's still a tremendous amount of savings versus what I'd be paying US price wise anyway. So, $5 is $5 to me. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like it will eventually work itself out. Yeah, it sucks right now, and it's a hot topic for a lot of people. Not even in our toy world, but the toy world in general.
Yep.
But yeah, same thing. Like it shows he can't do the free shipping right now, which big deal. It's $5. I can swing it. But if some people can't, I understand the frustration there too. But like all things, it'll work itself out in time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Billy makes fun of me all the time for keeping stuff in boxes and not opening it right away. But my time has come. As everyone else is in a drought, I have stuff that I can show and give you fresh content of things that people have already reviewed 3 years ago. So
you are going to be the king of content. I'm very lucky. I live down the street from a friend of mine that owns his own store. So I'm going to obviously just bother my buddy Nick and say, give me toys. So I'm not worried. It helps him. It helps me. And that's it. Nick's been on our show before. He's just an absolute pleasure. I love him with all my heart.
Nick's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, I made him my kid's godfather. Let's put it like that. So here we go.
You made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So let's talk HasLab. As we know, Omega Prime.
Are we talking HasLab disappointments?
Shipping, well, maybe. So of course the early news has come out. Part of me was surprised at how quickly this is shipping, and I'm assuming it's because of the current climate, what we're going on. They bumped it up so that way they didn't have to absorb the costs or anything like that. But what we're starting to see is, if you look at the picture on the left, there's some crackage going on in that waist. You look at the picture on the right, the yellowing on Ultra Magnus. This is a crowd-funded bot where people paid plenty of money to have something quality, and now we're getting some disappointment. This reminds me of the HasLab for Giant Man that came with the crooked eyes, the HasLab with Star Saber that came with the scratched chrome and stuff like that. So thoughts. I'm hoping mine comes and it's a good copy. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm still on the fence whether I keep it or not, because Omega Prime's not one that I'm attached to. I've just got him because he's a Prime. But yeah, what are y'all's thoughts seeing that the first early copies of this coming out are having some QC issues?
Ryan, you can start this off, bud.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm not happy about it. To say that it would have QC issues is both surprising and not surprising at all. There's people around here that have already had theirs for like a week, and I haven't even got a shipping notice yet. And I might not even get a shipping notice. It might just show up one day. But it is disappointing. It's disappointing to see the yellowing on the whites of Magnus and any sort of defects it might have. Like I had defects on my Star Sabers, and it took them about a year to replace it.
Yeah,
but they did. To their credit, they did. It just took some time.
Yeah, and this isn't one where they can do like a second run or a third run or something like that. These are like, this is it.
No.
So.
Made to order, buddy. I didn't back this figure. The HasLabs have been too wonky for me. I love the idea, but things like this happen, and I don't want to pay a premium on a limited income to have this. I'm hoping that they address the issue and send out replacement parts. That's the right thing to do. But this figure is actually one of my favorite primes. The first BotCon I ever went to was 01, and that's when Rid hit here. Now, I already had the figures because I imported them over for Car Robots or whatever the series was.
Yeah, Car Robots. Yeah.
But I'll never forget, Nick and I drove down to the show, and along the way, Nick picked up the Rid Optimus and Ultra Magnus. They were on the shelf.
Nice.
And as we're waiting in the lobby for our lines, his ass was selling them for like triple the price. He made money for the floor, and it's one of those core memories. So I love everything about Omega Prime simply for the memories. Plus, it was a fun toy. It was a fun toy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is going to be a good toy. I'm not a HasLab backer.
Billy, I may have to ship it to you because you'll probably play with it before I can even open it. So
no, because the pieces will be broken and it'll be my fault. So we're not doing that.
Exactly.
The figure overall, I think, looks good, but I don't like the individual smaller Prime, like the deluxe size Prime or whatever you want to call it. I don't like his Scott Steiner looking chest.
Terrible.
It bugs me
it's
so
like
much.
That Kofi Kingston indented thing going.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's starting to separate.
That
Too
is
many
funny.
chops.
Yeah, it's not. It was a weird choice for them to make, given the design of the character.
Yeah.
But I think the overall combined mode is where
Yeah,
the money's
the
at.
It's at.
The
Absolutely.
combined mode and the alt modes look clean too as well.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's
real
what's
quick before we
really
move on,
good.
E-Man
Yeah.
states HasLab is the Lexus of a Toyota line. The quality should have been the main point to go to for HasLab.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Preaching to the choir. Yep.
I love Rid because of Omega and more because Magnus was a badass in that show. Magnus was a badass in that show. And that I liked that show simply because the characters kind of had totally different, brand new personalities. And that's what I like about Transformers. I don't want to see the same figures over and over again.
Right.
The Machine Museum prices are high to cover the costs by the code. I understand I totally understand the pricing. And 9 times out of 10, the pricing's worth it. Like the Lyle Kaiser, what you're getting with all of those being Voyager figures is totally worth the price. It just doesn't speak to me.
Yeah.
Simply put, it doesn't speak to me.
What's up, Princeton?
What's up, bud? All right.
So let's take a look
Returners,
at
gotta say hello.
Hasbro and Takara. That's it. So
I'm so
this
mad
is
at them for
something
not doing a Giants helmet. I'm a Giants fan.
I'm excited about this. It's got at least my Chiefs in there.
Give them time.
I've got my Chiefs, and so that's great. But yeah, the rumor is they're supposed to do all 32 teams.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I hope they do all 32 teams, home and away colors. Let's be honest.
That would be great.
This is a license to print money.
It is. Because what I would end up doing is having the game that I'm watching, and I would have the helmets and the robots right there. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
This is so cool. I am on board 100%. I don't care if it's got kibble, waffles, pancakes, whatever it has. I am getting that Chiefs one in a heartbeat on that. So, Ryan, what about you? Which is your favorite team, and which one would you get, or would you get these?
Well, you know what? I'm more of a hockey guy.
No worries.
Die hard Bruins, baby. But how can you not love these? Like they're charming. It's like Sports Label, but kicked up to a 2.0. And Sports Label was fun, as wonky as it was, but this is wonderful. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm a huge hockey fan. I prefer hockey over football any day.
Give me a Zamboni Transformer and I'm down.
I'm a Rangers guy. My cousin Connor played for the Bruins for several years. He's a Sabre now, though.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw him at the funeral, actually. So Dallas Cowboys for a G1 Mirage. I actually think that's a great idea. Color-wise and everything would work. Yeah. I think that's great. But bring on my Giants helmet and we are good to go. I think this is awesome. I think it's awesome.
I do like your idea, home and away. That would be pretty cool.
Home and away is the way to do it.
I think it makes sense too.
Absolutely. My dad was not a toy guy, but I would have absolutely bought him one of these if he was still around.
Oh yeah, heartbeat. You can see this opening up for things like hockey or Major League Baseball or anything like that too. This is just the beginning. If they see it goes well, you never know.
I want the Fox robot.
And these are easy Christmas presents too. Like my boss is a big 49ers fan. Like it's in the bag. I've got Christmas on lock already. I'm going to be the best.
That is it. And then if you're not watching the Wild King show on
the show is
YouTube,
rough. The toys are cool though.
It's interesting. The show is horrible. But what's crazy is that Optimus Prime is about Commander class sized.
He's gigantic.
He is gigantic. His alt form looks okay, but I think the more I keep looking at this, it's one of those things that it's like looking at the Kramer from Seinfeld. It's like it's disgusts me, but I can't keep my eyes off of it. I really want to get one, or whatever it may be. But this is the Optus. You can see him right there next to Dino King, and I think that's an MP44 in the background there. Any thoughts on the toys on this? Hopefully we'll get them stateside. I don't think so. You may have to import them, but they're interesting. I think they'd be fun for my kids, that kind of stuff too as well. But like I said, I'm a sucker for Optimus Prime, so I might end up getting them.
Ryan, what do you think?
Personally, I think it looks great. It gives me a big Unicron trilogy feel, both the show and the toys. I think it's just fun. It's a return to fun, and I think that's what especially younger fans need.
Yeah, no, my son is begging for them, and that's what I want. Yeah. Like, give me a return to the kids asking for something on the shelf that they actually want to play with. And
which Which, on a side note, I mean, the Earthspark Soundwave is supposed to be out in stores, and I cannot find him. And I
I have
want
not seen
him
him yet. If I
so
see him, we'll
freaking
pick him up
bad.
for you.
I want him so freaking bad.
I saw. I think we saw him
Did
today.
you?
We were at a Target. I'm pretty sure I saw, and I left them all. I'm sorry, but I left. I'm pretty sure there was Soundwave, whatever. I think hashtag and
Yeah.
Twitch.
I want that Soundwave.
Is that their name?
That stealth bomber look on it just looks great.
Yeah. Yep,
Just
I
looks
agree.
great.
But these guys are great. They're fun, and they look fun. Let's move on.
Yep, absolutely. We got Cyber World Megatron here. Grab the bull by its horns.
Yeah,
for
Again,
what it
fun
is.
for kids.
I think this stuff looks fun too.
Absolutely. Fun
Yep.
for the kids. 5
That's
steps, very easy on that. We'll move on.
Reminds me of the Transformers Prime Cyberverse stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then rumors of the next missing links is Grimlock and Ultra Magnus on that. So, what kind of price point do you think these guys would come in? Is it something you'd be interested in, or what? Yeah.
I'd say Dinobot's going to, or sorry, Dinobot. Grimlock's going to probably be about $100, and Magnus probably about 160.
Yeah, I would say that too. But it'll be interesting to see, because I know the G1 Magnus toy, it was just basically you just held it, right? So it'll be kind of cool to see a G1-esque missing link Ultra Magnus that has the articulation and the same transformation of that G1. So
I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but I'm in for an Ultra Magnus. Grimlock. The Dinobots were pretty close to what you expected. Like, I don't know what more they're going to do for Grimlock. I did want to bring up.
I don't think Bingo Toys is going to bring theirs out anytime soon.
No, they're not going to face the repercussion of that. E-Man's World feels that the Unicron trilogy gets too much flack. I liked both the shows and the toys. I thought they were great. The show was rough for me. The toys were fun for me.
Scott Rod said he's already seen a proto of that Grimlock. So.
Scott Rod, that's a great name.
Interesting. I like that too as well.
Now, was that proto the Bingo Toys one, or was it an actual prototype?
That's the question, because I did see the Bingo Toys.
Because I think a lot of people have confused the two recently.
Yeah. So AS Toys, I was going to say Ass Toys, but
the different
we got
show.
Something really interesting here. The KO of the Studio Series Optimus Prime, and rumor is it's going to come in at $15, which is crazy. And they said that they solved some of the tolerance issues, and of course the feet and all that kind of stuff. So $15 KO, I'll believe it when I see it. And if it's $15, sometimes you get what you pay for, but I don't know. I mean, it looks good. It looks good to me, but we'll see what happens on that. So any thoughts on that? Do you think they can come in under that promise of $15, or do you think it's
domestically? Sure,
I would say probably 40. That's where I would see it at.
I would say something somewhere in the $30 range for shipping here. I think it's pretty neat. I'm going to pick one up to review it. Ultimately, I'll just give it to my son. I do like that the windows look like they're actually solid, and you're not going to have those gaps for the peg holders that you have in the official 86. I don't understand the gray hips. It is what it is. It's cool. I think it's pretty cool. DevCon Studios wants to know if anyone's excited for TFCON in Chicago this October, and they absolutely.
I know I am.
I'm totally excited for it. And once we're through with the news, that's all we're talking about tonight. So, that's it. We are totally in for it. Scott, definitely check it out. Again, I love your name, man. Scott Rod is awesome.
Scott Rod's a stellar name.
Fire Talks, what is going on? What's going on here tonight? We're doing our regular thing. We're talking the news. We're talking toys. We're talking that. And then we're going to talk after the news. We're going to talk about TFCON. Probably the most fun I've had at a convention in years. I just went to the Maryland one recently.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I actually got to meet Fire
Talks. If you get this, I will totally check out your review. Let's talk. My favorite
New Age.
Yeah, baby.
There we go. Look at the sexy beasts right there.
I think those are beautiful.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. These are ones that I would definitely buy the repaints for. Just because they do fit in, right? You got Cordon and what was the other one's name? Gosh, dang it. Anyway, but gorgeous looking as always.
They're beautiful.
When does Sunstreaker come out? I know he's soon. I mean, he's got to be soon.
Probably like a month or two.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. It's just building up the supply and getting it to where it needs to go. Yeah, probably a month or two.
Hopefully they handle the issues with the tolerances, man, because that Galvatron was unbearable. Trailbreaker was great. Trailbreaker was fun. I have tight joints on mine and very clean, but we'll see.
Galvatron, I think, was a victim of mold flash. You know, it's been used too many times. Yep. He's due for a redux. Same with a lot of their stuff. To, you know, get the Datsuns upscaled to new molds and those fellas.
And then of course, if you like crystal, there you go, my friends. Transparent, coming in a 6-pack. So
Nick said they look like gummy bears.
Yeah, they look like really good hard candies.
They do. Like you should eat them or something like that. These are a pass for me. I'm not big into the transparent ones. So
I don't touch clear plastic.
I used to be. I used to be a huge translucent fan, but not anymore because it's just brittle.
So brittle. I pass on all transparent figures. I don't care. Like Ghost of Starscream, great. It was great for an episode. I got a good enough Starscream.
Yeah,
Dr. Wu, I love these guys.
This one right here, this came out of nowhere for me.
Look at you smiling. I can already see you're smiling ear to ear.
Broadside, baby.
I didn't know they were doing a Marvel Comics release alongside it, though.
Yeah. There is, of course, the plane mode, which looks great. Then, of course, and it comes with these little tiny planes, which is freaking amazing. The aerial bots, right?
Yeah. Little Titans Return throwback.
And then, of course, like you said, the Marvel comic version there too as well. So Dr. Wu, of course, is his scale all in his own, but is this something that you're going to pick up? Is this another scale you get into, or is it, because for me, I'm a character, I like to pick up characters. I care less about scale. I know that's probably going to make a lot of people mad, but I'm a character guy. Now, of course, I'll keep scale together on some of them, you know, and things like that, but this looks great. I think I might get them.
I'm gonna have Ryan start it off. I don't want to cut anybody off.
I have a lot to say. Well, I think it's wonderful. It's been a long time coming since we saw the original render for it. It looks great in color. I love the two different heads, and I love how different the cartoon and toon versions. I think you just have the one, but it's got the other broadside head, and the plane looks different, like where the cockpit is. Like, it's really sharp. He did a great job, and he's big. Like, he scales well again with all their Dr. Wu stuff, but the Mechanic Studio, like I'm looking right out of Sandstorm. Like, it's gonna look perfect with that.
Yeah. Iman, that is broadside. He's only been in like 1 or 2 episodes, right?
Season 3. He's a season 3 guy, and you know, he should be giant in his tanker mode or aircraft carrier mode. I always wanted to customize a G.I. Joe aircraft carrier into broadside.
Flag? That would be awesome.
But you know, I don't have that. My mother threw that out when we moved, so I don't have that anymore. I'm so excited for this figure. I saw him. I was when Ryan at the TFCON Baltimore put up the picture. I think I was the only one that screamed yes at the top of their lungs. So I love this. I think it's super cool. He scales with the other MFT triple changers because it's a partnership with Dr. Wu and MFT. So if you have their Springer and
Sandstorm,
and Sandstorm and all that, that's going to work just fine with them. And all my triple changers are MFT in my collection. So I'm set. I'm all about it. Do you think the 86 Astrotrain rumor will be a new mold or just the same one? I think it's going to be the same figure. I don't see them giving us a new mold.
He's going to have a retool, but it is going to be the Siege mold with
like
retool.
Springer quality retool, because Springer was a nice upscale. Like, it was done well.
Yeah. As far as I know, yes.
Well, Iman,
I'm bringing that up right now.
Come down the rabbit hole. You're down the rabbit hole with us.
It's an amazing rabbit hole, and honestly, it's been one of the most accepting communities I've been in. So never hesitate to reach out to any of us. We will always be there if you have questions, man.
That's it. So BINGO, of course, we know that's Bingo is what its name-o. Of course, they're
look at that afterburner, man.
Look at that, baby.
Those are MP scaled, I believe.
Yep.
They are, yep.
MP scaled. If I'm going all in on the Craftsman Toys one, but this thing does look sexy. Man, it just is beautiful. Any thoughts? Now, I didn't ask you, Ryan. Are you MP, Legends, everything?
I'm a bit of everything. I prefer Legends because I think economy of space is a big thing. But I mean, I'm a sucker for masterpiece scale stuff too. And
Yeah.
slight little humble brag, I actually named these guys.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
Very
named them after
cool.
scientists.
I
Very
love that.
cool.
Yeah.
Look
That
look
is-
at the things you learn on the forge, folks. Okay.
Yeah.
Same with their Dinobots. I did those too, and the Owen Studio Constructicons.
That is awesome. Very,
Yeah.
very
That's great.
cool. They don't ask me to name stuff because I'd be like, yeah, that's Joe, or
That's Bart, and that one's Butch.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's what I would do. I just come
that's
up with
Pete the
random
Pete over
names.
there. That's
Yeah.
that's Loose
Yeah.
Foot Sally.
Well, how do you
Honestly,
think our exclusive name's Shafter? Nothing but dick
I
jokes.
would name characters off of Tromaville characters, though. Just
Oh,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's-
smart.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I am a sucker for combiners. So
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
Yeah. How
this
can you
is-
not, man? Just salts are the way to go. I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with, like depending on the combiner, they can go pretty well with your legend scale or things like that too as well.
Mhm.
I mean, O1 Studio is doing their own broadside. Technically,
Yeah.
that thing's going to scale better with my Legends collection.
Can you imagine
Then-
putting a Zeta Toys mini Superions aerial bots on that?
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. They're right there. I just don't touch them because they're so brittle. Magic Square's got to come out with an aerial bot
Yes,
set
they
soon.
do. They really do.
I hope they
Bingo
do.
Toys also announced their sexy Lady Tarn too. I know MMC did it, so Bingo Toys said "Hold my beer," and we're gonna do it as well. And let's take a look at that alt mode there. So this is gonna be an MMC versus Bingo Toys. Did you name this one? Did you name Tanya?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Somebody's a Mortal Kombat fan. Hey, real quick, DevCon Studios. Question for at TFCon. Has anyone ever spotted an MP13? I've always wanted Masterpiece Soundwave, but I haven't found them at the 2 cons I've been to so far. I think there's a few tables that definitely go heavy on the MPs. I know at Baltimore there was a slew of MPs. There's a nice little row of tables that I will be visiting frequently. That I'm sure might have one for you. Ryan, have you seen? I mean, you're at far more TFCons than I am. Have you seen 13 there?
Yeah, absolutely. But what you're probably going to want to look for is loose. You might find someone with a boxed MP13, but it's going to be a private sale. You're better off finding a loose one, probably in a bag. It might you'll have everything, but you're probably not going to find the box.
Yeah.
You might find one table selling personal collection with the box and everything, and that's great. Or you might find it in a room sale. Make sure you check the sandwich board in the lobby.
I mean, room sales are great.
Absolutely.
And don't be afraid to write it down on a piece of paper and put it on the sandwich board and just say, hey, I'm looking for MP13. Find me in this room or find me here at this time, and work it out. If you don't want to give your personal information or put down your phone number, people can text you. That's what I've done in the past, and it's worked.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Cons are some great places to find things. I'll tell you what, there's a couple really great Facebook groups that are out there. Transformers Third Party Kingdom. Put it out there. You may find
Chris
it
is
there.
great over there.
Underground chat. So there's a lot of really great, if you check those Facebook groups, if you throw it out there that you're looking for them, I'm sure somebody will find out that somebody has it. So
absolutely.
So there we go. So Tanya, Movie 7 Focus. This is the name of this bot. It is a masterpiece scale.
Wait, how did you say that? How did you say? Can you say that name one more time?
Gesundheit.
Batu, Barata.
There it is, masterpiece scale Scourge. So if you're a Rise of the Beast fans, this will definitely be something you want to go all in on. It looks great. I thought Scourge was a really good looking villain from the Rise of the Beast on that. So it'd be curious. The Studio Series Rise of the Beast, I wasn't too big of a fan of, but this one actually looks really, really decent.
I think it looks sharp. I think I'm really curious to see how the Mirage is going to go.
That Mirage looks awesome.
It's a new company. Will it get off the ground, and will it be a huge success, or will it fall to mediocrity? It's anyone's guess. It's a gamble, but I wish the best right off the bat. I want to see what people can do, and I would love to see a new company knocking these designs out of the park.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think of like, go for it, Billy.
No, I'm sorry. Go, bud. Go.
I was going to say, when you think of like robot toys, when they came out with their Legend scale Beast Wars, they just hit it out the ballpark. When you think of
Yeah.
Craftsman Toys and their drill horn with their Technobots, just
Mhm.
amazing. So some of these third-party companies, give them a shot. You know, this is their first shot, and they want to impress you with their very
Yeah,
first.
the design here is beautiful. I think they did their homework. If it works and it's not, you know, frustrating to transform, I hope the world for him. I'm not an MP guy anymore. If I was, I would have grabbed it. I like Scourge. I liked the Terracons in Rise of the Beasts.
Mhm.
I thought that they were awesome. I actually liked Rise of the Beasts. It could have been better, of course, but
Sure.
you know, I enjoyed it. And if I can leave the movie after enjoying it, I'm happy. I wish these were Legend scaled. That's all I have to really say. Like
Yeah.
these in Legends, I would be all over them. I would have a little Dio all set up. It'd be pretty rad. That's all I got.
Agreed. If it was Legends, I'd dip.
I'm sorry?
I said I agree. If it was Legend scale, I'd dip. But
100%.
at MP scale, I'll probably pass.
Yep. Are there any Instagram Transformer groups, or are they all Facebook? They're all Facebook. Instagram's too like personal. You're not going to find anything. All I really do, if I do Transformers on Instagram, I go to the Reflector Files. Mike's got a really nice page with killer pictures. Great guy. Great everything. So check out the Reflector Files on Instagram. You'll get your Transformers fill right there. QTT Studios. Let's talk about them.
Got their Legend scale Predacons, not Predacons.
Yeah.
All in, baby. All in. As simple as they look in those beast modes, I'm still all in.
Yeah. They're chunky. They're blocky. It's kind of like that from Ant-Man. It's ugly. I love it. So
yeah, they bring me right back to Gen 1, but they still kind of look toonish in their robot modes. We're good, man.
But again,
if that combined mode works and is solid, I'm in.
Isn't QQT Studios doing the whole Scramble City where you can get their Devastator, you can get their stuff and just mix and match if you want?
That's right.
Yeah, like that's fun. I will buy all of them, even though I don't need another Devastator or anything like that. If I can Scramble City everything, you're bringing me right back to my youth. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then this is something just a little bit different, just Transformer adjacent. I don't know if you heard of this, Arch Core. So, which is really cool because their first one they came out with, and I got a picture of it, but this is their newest one that they're coming out with. It's a friggin' dragon that turns into a robot with
Three
little
dragons
like
turn into a robot
looking people. It is awesome looking. And let me show you, this was the initial one that they had was the castle that turned into a robot. It's almost like it's like a King Arthur-esque, you know, Camelot-ish kind of with robots, pretty much. So any thoughts here? What do you think, Ryan?
I really like their designs. I have their first one, the truck, that turned into the big robot. I didn't get the side pieces like the wolf that turns into the bike, that turns into the knuckles. I didn't get any of that stuff because I just thought that the truck worked so well. I like these designs. I like that it looks like it's three dragons that turned into the robot. Just kind of like how the castle was different pieces that build the other robot. I love it. I like that all the other stuff they do that's very Warhammer in style.
That's
like
what it reminds me of. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think they're on a very unique thing, and no one else is touching them, and that's great.
Yep, it's original. That's what I like.
Yeah,
I like original. If you're going in on like Warhammer-esque designs and you're a table builder, like I can only like I like building dios. I haven't gotten into the tables yet, just because space limitations. But ultimately, I want to get into building those big tables for, you know, gaming or whatever I may do. I'm not going to say my plan because ultimately it might make me a really big YouTube star one day. But you know, these are awesome and would fit in, and I think that's rad, man. I give
that's
them
very cool. And sneak peek of next week's show, we're going to be talking about dios. So
yeah, we've got an awesome dio builder just starting his own YouTube channel that I have to get him on, and it's going to be a fun show next week.
And I'm all in on these Heat Boys. I've got all four of the turtles. This is another just kind of a reissue kind of Leonardo, but more of a with the cool looking samurai. I mean,
You and your
big ass
fucking
cloud
fannies.
sword, all that kind of stuff. But just looks really, really cool. I love the mecha look of these turtles. I've got the all four. I don't have the Leonardo that turns into the van, but I have the other Leonardo. But very cool. I mean, I just think if you're a turtle fan, this might be something that might be down your alley, or if you're a big mech fan, this might be something down your alley.
Yeah, I think they're super unique designs. I think they're well articulated. You can tell there's a ton of attention to detail in everything that they do, and again, they're doing something that no one else is doing, which
Yeah.
is such a hard thing to pull off, and they're doing it very, very well.
And they picked a good license, a good IP to use it with.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. My daughter, she is a huge Turtles fan, so this is a great way for me and her to connect as we're going to be doing reviews on these. So
I love that.
which is going to be awesome. And then I am a big Voltron fan. Action Toys, we finally got kind of a big prototype of their Albagos, which is the Voltron
nice.
that nobody knows about, really.
Isn't that Voltron 2 or Voltron 3? I can't remember with the old catalog scans.
Yeah, Voltron 2. He was Voltron 2. So middle galaxy Voltron, whereas Voltron 3 was far galaxy, and then Voltron 1 was near galaxy.
Yes.
So someday we'll do a show on just all Voltron, and if you want to talk about it, we can definitely do it. But this looks really cool. It has a stiff price tag of over $300, but all three of them do. I mean, they combine in the different orders. You can mix and match. You can have red on top. You can have blue on top. You can do all sorts of different things. Action Toys, I've got a couple of their stuff. I've got their Voltron. I've got their Groiser X. They do quality stuff, and I've got their Godmars coming in tomorrow, which is going to be really cool. So
I'll pay for quality. If the figures are quality and worth it, I don't mind shelling out the money.
Correct.
You know,
100%.
And especially with the amount of playability you're getting here and how cool it looks. Like, it reminds me of vintage Japanese toys. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's a killer figure right there.
Yeah, we may have to talk Japanese robots sometime. So
I would love that. That'd be such a fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
That's it. That's it. And now for something completely different. Billy always loves this because I like to surprise him with it. And
I love your little surprises.
This is what you shared with me, and I don't know if you're getting this or not, but it's the Mr. Potato Head Godzilla.
I am so getting that.
It looks freaking amazing. So Billy, you want to kick us off on this? I know you're a huge Godzilla fan. So
I love Godzilla and I love Mr. Potato Head. All right, Toy Story gave me a never-ending love of Mr. Potato Head when you cast Don Rickles as his voice. Okay, look at that though. I mean, we've got a Mr. Potato Head Godzilla that comes with a freaking atomic fire effect. It's beautiful. I love it.
So does it give you hope for Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, all those guys in potato head form?
I want a Hedorah Mr. Potato Head, the smog monster. And instead of like adding little pieces of like smog, it's different pieces of trash that you could plug in. I think that'd be so much fun.
That sounds adorable.
And you need little toy. You need little toy tater tots. You need toy tater tots that can be running away from them. So
now, if they did tater tots, we could do that. That works. Never mind, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Those little piles of mashed potato.
I want
all the ones you stepped on.
Give me a Mothra Potato Head. All right, that'd be fun as can be. You could get larval pieces and winged pieces. You know.
So we've got TFCON Chicago coming right around the corner, October, which I cannot wait for. It's going to be awesome. But before that, I know Toronto is just right around the corner too, as well, in July. So let's do it. Let's talk some TFCON on that. So Ryan, I know you've been around the block with TFCON. I'd love to hear maybe just how did it get started? Like I just like to know that first.
Well,
like,
it started. The first TFCON took place in a hockey arena. There was like 30 people. It was very small. I started off as a vendor. And every year it grew and it grew and it grew. And then eventually we moved to the DoubleTree in Toronto, beside the airport. And then that grew and it grew. And that's when we were also official. We were still officially licensed by Hasbro. And then we moved to our current location in Mississauga. And we just kept growing, and now we expand into the US. We do 2 US shows and 1 Canadian show. And it's gone in a blink of an eye, really. Like it's grown so wildly, and I've made so many friends and I met so many people, and it changed my life in every level. I met my wife at TFCon.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That is very cool.
It's been a wonderful experience, and I love everyone involved
Real
with it.
quick, I gotta say hi. Yeah, and we love TFCon's been amazing for me. I have to say hi to two people. All right, I got Big M, who's a weekly guy. Big M,
Yep.
nice to have you.
What up, Big M?
Welcome to the show. And joining us tonight is my uncle, PJ Clifton. What's up? He is Schwinking. Schwinkers are drinkers. And, Schwinkers, really good to have him here. If you've ever seen the movie Son-in-Law, he wrote that. That's
nice.
to introduce
What
you
up,
to
Uncle Pat?
That is awesome. I love that.
Great.
We got two people here that I'm just happy to have. TFCon for me was a rejuvenation. I had not been to cons that I enjoyed once BotCon kind of deteriorated. You know, I'm in New Jersey. We've got convention centers. We have cons, but a lot of the time that personal feeling of welcomeness and family isn't there. And every TFCon has been open arms with either friends that I haven't seen in years or with new friends that I've made. So TFCon has always just been a really nice experience for me, that it's just welcoming for family if you want to bring them, or just to go out and meet new people in the community. It's really just nice. And I love what you've done with TFCon, and I applaud that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Autocorrect Primer has been watching, just listening. Autocorrect is a regular virus. Welcome, brother. If he goes to TFCon Chicago, I believe him, his wife, me, and my wife are going to drive together. He's going to come up from North Carolina.
Wonderful.
Carpool on up.
I will be there too. Coming from Tennessee. All right. Anyway, but now one of the things that TFCon is, it's a fan-run convention. So what's the difference between a fan-run convention and what the normal conventions that we see?
This is all pro bono work. This is all of our free time. This is a fan-run convention. We don't, everyone's a volunteer. I myself am a volunteer. I handle all the third-party stuff, and it's all our free time. But we make the best of it. It's really just a way for us to hang out together. And we've made it our triannual get together. It's and it's worked on a lot of levels for us, because the staff, all of us purple shirts, we've been there for so long that we know each other. We trust each other. We know how we all work together. We know what's efficient. We know how to keep lines moving and try and keep people happy. And I mean, you can't win them all, but you got to try and make the best experience for your guests as possible. And when I say guests, I mean the people behind the table and the people in front of the table. You got the whole idea is just to make fans happy, and that's 100% what it's always been about. It's just giving fans a good place to get together and have something in common, and be able to get together and chat, make new friends, and say, hey, check out my new toy. Oh, I got the same toy. Let's be best friends. And then it happens in real life, and you're best friends with that person for 20 years because you both went to go grab Wing Saber at a convention in 2000 and whatever. And that's how you build friends in this community. And it blossoms so naturally. And I think that's what makes it work, is we're all friends. We're friends that are like family. And we talk. There's communication daily. No one gets left out of it. So we're all abreast of the information that we need to know, and it's a daily thing. The daily communication what keeps it going.
Yeah. So Ryan, there's a good question in the chat. I don't know if you want to read that, Billy.
Yep, we're same page in it. I love this, Jimmy. E-Man's World of Geek states, can you guys help me with what something like TFCon would be compared to a Comic-Con like SDCC or Heroes Con? I'd love to know more about TFCon. So you're the man. I mean, I said basically what I had to say. And you summed up that's what you were going for. So I'm going to let you say it.
Sure. I mean, I'm flattered that anyone compares to SDCC. But we're very Transformers focused. Yeah, sure, you might have a couple of overlaps here and there with voice actors talking about their time with Turtles or other franchises, but we keep it strictly Transformers while we're there. So it's a smaller show, but it's action packed for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's almost hard to sleep. There's just so much to do, but it is a very niche show compared to something as big as SDCC or Heroes Con.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'll agree
And I
with
would
the hard
say,
to sleep thing.
yeah, and what's great is like when you got San Diego Comic-Con, which is so huge. I mean, it's big. There's so much to see, so much to do. It caters to a lot of different pop culture. Same with most conventions, Heroes Con, Fanboy Expo here, which is a smaller one, MegaCon, all the Fan Expo ones. Whereas what I love about TFCon is it is a more specialized kind of group. Everyone's there with the love of one thing. It's robots and Transformers. It's that community. Like, for example, you go and see, when y'all showed the Transformers 1 movie and you have a whole group of people in there quoting it line by line.
Yeah.
Transformers, or whatever it may be.
So much fun.
It's
room
just
readings.
so cool to see. It is so neat to see. And that's what I love is when you get into these conventions. And the cool thing about y'all being a fan-led convention is it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the passion, and it's just about getting community together, which is so cool. And you've basically kept the convention pretty affordable. I mean, it's one of the affordable conventions that I've ever been to.
Yeah, absolutely.
We try. We certainly try. I mean, a lot of people that keep saying, for the LA show and for Toronto, why don't you guys move into a bigger venue? We can clearly handle the volume, and we could, but that comes at a cost.
Yep.
The next level up is a much higher bracket. So unfortunately, the only way that cost has to go to the fans. So until we know we can get enough volume to cover that, to keep it as low as possible, it's probably going to stay in those the conventions that work the best for us.
Well, honestly, they didn't feel too crowded. It felt just right. There was never an issue where I had like claustrophobic feelings or anxiety kicked in. It always just felt fine. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, it's the only time I've ever gotten into like an elevator and like Aaron Archer's standing next to me. It's one of these things. And when I checked in, Bob Budiansky was at check-in. Like, it was just such a cool experience. I think Michael Bell was at Baltimore. He was a sweetheart. Real quick though, DevCon Studios, who's been wonderful tonight. I wonder who the other guest will be, since we only know one guest so far, being Charlie Adler. I'm sure
there will be more guests coming soon.
I know you can't give anything away. I'm not asking you to, and I never would.
Blink once if it's not.
No. Are the four people like DevCon wondering? Do you have a nice amount of guests coming? Like, do you have are they going to feel like, hey, I got my money's worth? These people were here, and it was just totally like a Gen 1 fest, or it was a Rid Fest or Beast Wars Fest, whatever it might be. I mean, you're in next one's Toronto. I know Gary Chalk's going through a battle, but I'd imagine he'd be like a TFCon Toronto regular guy, being that he's a Canadian.
Yeah, he's I think Gary and David both have just like standing open invitations. Yeah, they can come whenever they want. like Gary's. I mean, well, David's not too far from the show in general. Like, I mean, I would love to be able to say who's coming, but part of the fun is the buildup.
It is.
No, and like I said, we're not asking you. Yeah. We just
for sure. No, I get that. I get it. Yeah. But yeah, no, there will be a lot of guests, and never feel shy to say something on the TFCon Facebook page. Say, hey, you know what? I would love to see this voice actor. The more that the show hears for demand, if I want to see more Frank Todaro, just put it down there, put it in a Facebook comments page, and that will kind of direct the flow of traffic to get more guests that fans want to see.
Frank's one of the nicest people on the face of the planet, like bar none. Like
100%.
I think for me, one of the most exciting things about TFCon, I've only been to two. I've been to the one in Orlando, which I hope it goes back to Florida again because that was a blast. Uh, uh, and then, of course, Baltimore. But one of the exciting things for me is the exclusives. And so
Mhm.
I know you can't tell me what the exclusives are going to be,
Sure.
but I would love to hear kind of like how do you come up with the ideas for like, hey, this is what we want to do. How did you come up with the partnerships and things like that?
Well, a lot of that stuff is handled by the vendors. It's really the vendor's choice on what they want to supply. They'll talk to Colin, like the event organizer, and we want to make sure we're not doing anything that steps on anyone's toes. But yeah, the exclusives are pretty much handled by
Like Chosen
the
Prime.
vendors. Yeah, Chosen Prime, ages 3 and up, Toy Dojo, Madhouse. Those folks who invest their dollars into it to get it to the show. And once upon a time, it used to be the show. Like again, Shafter is an example. Like Shafter was something that the show did, but it made more logistical sense for the vendors to deal with them directly, because that way it costs the fans less and it gets to the show on time because those vendors who are already setting up all the shipments already take care of that stuff. So they're the ones who come up with it and kind of plan over the next few years where they want to go with that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I think Chosen Prime has like a whole like set of series like figures ready to go. Like this is what we are doing.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of future planning.
yeah, I
I thought
love
that.
that.
Yeah, I thought that Obsidian Commander looked sexy. It was
Yeah,
very, very sexy.
stellar.
I am a little upset that nobody does Legends exclusives. Like I would love, and I bring this up
100%.
many times. Like because I was talking, we had Tim Regan from the Transformers Underground on, and he was looking for something. I'm like, somebody should do like how Magic Square says they're not going to do Gen 2 colors or
Yeah.
Ruination colors. Why does somebody not do an annual Ruination buildup of their Bruticus?
Mhm.
You've got it would sell. I'm sure it would sell out so quickly.
A lot of that
That's
stuff is a gamble, though, and trust me, you and I want G2 stuff, for example,
yeah, I
but
love G2.
there's going to have to be a minimum run, and a minimum run costs more than a full run, and that minimum run cost gets transferred to fans. So legend stuff I love, but legend stuff can be more expensive to do a small run of small figures.
Yeah, like $100, you know,
Yeah,
uh, what the swindle for
yeah,
$100 as opposed to 50 something.
but there have been, I talk to a lot of the third parties, daily, and um, Mechanical Skull Studio even said, what, hey, I might be interested in doing an exclusive. That would be a wonderful experience, to get it out there. And there's Starscream, that little Armada Starscream, incredible. The
Beautiful.
Demolisher they got coming out is going to be
Yep.
stellar. And they got other stuff they want to do, not just Armada, but they want to do, the encompassing figures.
I love
They've shown interest in it. So, if they can work something out with a vendor, um, to supply that stuff to the fans, I think it can work.
that. They're
It's
such a
just,
good company, man. Their
yeah,
quality of figures. I think I gave their Starscream figure of the year. I was
yeah.
so blown away by it.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, loved everything about it. I'm going to just cut us off really quick because E-Man's been on fire. There's a huge bot community in the Bay Area. Does TFCon ever come to the Bay Area? They need more cons like this. Have you guys ever considered going to the Bay Area?
Yeah, I think Colin has entertained that. But again, it all comes down to the logistics. We're in such a good spot, in like the Burbank area, where a lot of those voice actors and guests are pretty local. It's an easy hub for everyone to come into. So there's stuff like that, that they also kind of have to take into consideration when they're planning to go to a new venue. What is the ease of getting our guests to and from the hotel? What kind of cost does it incur? Because that stuff has to go right back into like package pricing, and we want to keep it as low as possible.
That's a good answer. I appreciate that. I'm just writing back to Scott Rod right now, which is why I'm not blabbermouthing.
Which
It's
is
all good.
it's weird. I don't hear Billy talking. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so I would love to hear from you. I mean, you've done many TF cons. What's your favorite memory besides meeting your wife, of course?
Oh
But
I
yeah,
was
I was
just
gonna
gonna
say
say
meet
he
my
really
wife's
met
number
his
one.
wife at a TFCon. Like that's it. You're not. That's the answer he's given, unless she's not
yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Besides
Oh
that,
no, she's beside me,
Hi,
what would
Stace.
be
right
your
there.
favorite memory that you've had so far at TF cons?
Man, I mean, okay, wife aside, because number one is meeting Stace. Number two is proposing to her at the show a year later and getting it all on camera. And I had TFW taking the pictures, like it was planned. Um, but my favorite memories have got to be the people. Um, I've met so many good friends through TFCon. I've met so many uh, famous people, I guess, through TFCon that you can talk casually to. Like Alan Oppenheimer is like talking to your grandfather. He's just the nicest old man. And he's a sweetheart, and so is everyone else. Talking to Greg Berger or Frank Welker or Peter. Like, it just anytime you can, they're always so nice. There's never a sense of um, superiority that ever comes across, and you feel more connected with the community because of it. Yeah, it's so hard to say what is my favorite. What is my you know what? I had a really good time in Chicago. I want to say in 2016. There was a German brew house that I think is shut down, and we would all go there after the show for our big staff dinner, and it was just one of the best times to just unwind, and we got to shoot the shit with everybody. Like everybody in that restaurant came up to us to say thank you for the show, and it was just a nice feeling. Um, I think that's going to always take a little special place in my heart because of how well it went. Or the first time I did the panel when I took it over from Daniel and Chris, um, we joke in Toronto we have the Scott McNeil Memorial Patio because he never comes anymore, so that's his memorial patio. Um, but I remember walking outside and everyone gave me a round of applause, and I thought that was a very nice sentiment. I didn't think I deserved it, but it was very appreciated. So it was a good feeling to know that people liked it.
Well, I love it. As I said earlier, it just gave such a sense of like camaraderie and welcome that you just don't get anywhere else. And it's why I love the convention. It's why I pitch it. It's why I said, let's do a show about it. It's just something special, man. So thank you. And Stace, thank you for letting him do this because we all know that she is the boss. I'm married almost 20 years. I know who
That's
my
it.
boss is.
Absolutely.
Real quick, DevCon, who again been on fire. I'm betting that one of the exclusives will be Ocular Max Armor Hide or Mega Octane. Don't mean to message lots. Just happy to talk about Transformers with people for once. Listen, if you like talking that much, come on the show with us, but
yeah.
But what were you saying, Ryan?
No, I think it's safe to say that's probably going to be one of the exclusives. If you follow Chokugan on Instagram, you might notice him coloring some of the Combaticons in G2 colors that haven't been released yet. So that gives you a good lead up, I think.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, DevCon, man, listen, Jimmy and I are always open for guest hosts. If you want to come on and talk Transformers, let's do it. Just reach on out to us on Facebook or on our email, theforgelive2005@gmail.com. Always
I highly recommend it. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, no, this
is it.
This is it. I'm hoping I can get Frank on one day just to talk.
Frank, yeah, I'd love to see Frank on this. Frank has what a wonderful personality.
Insane.
What a wonderful person.
If my kids get sick, like Mugman will send them a feel better message. It's amazing. Just a great guy. But yeah, TFCon, Jimmy, what was TFCon for you? I've talked for like 20 minutes about how much I love it.
my first one, I was new to the whole YouTube game, and so when I found out that there was TFCon coming to Orlando, and we love going to Orlando, it's 8 hours away. We're big Disney fans and stuff like that, so we decided to do it. My wife went on a cruise, and so that was great. She went on a cruise. I was able to do TFCon, but I was like, I am, like I said, I'm one of the in real life, I'm a very introverted person. So, so I'm seeing all these people that I watch YouTube videos of, and I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan, and then just walk off. But it was just so cool seeing just everything Transformers, everything that my childhood, I was able to go, wow, that's a toy that I had. That was my first, that was my very first toy. How much oh, I can't afford that right now, but let's go over here and take
Good.
a look at it. But what was so cool, and then Baltimore was finally one of the ones that I really got a chance to see outside the convention room,
Mhm.
and got to see like what happens in the lobby and all that kind of. It was crazy seeing all the like the things that were going on in the lobby. There was the no sales sign, and people were just like selling right next to
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of
it.
this
The
I
no
was probably
solicitation with the solicitation on top.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and then but it was cool just seeing everyone playing with their either their grails or what they got that day. There was like a whole table of people just putting blockies together,
and that
and it was just so cool.
it's such an energizing feeling. Like if you when you go down, you're coming, down the escalator, you're going into the lobby, and you see 100 people, sharing drinks and laughing and just really enjoying their hobby with other people, and to see how happy they are across the adulation on people's faces, just to be able to express themselves without any fear of persecution for, oh, you like toys, that's terrible, get bent,
Yeah,
enjoy what you want in life. If
that's
yeah,
little
it.
plastic robots make you happy, and you get to go to a place with a bunch of other people who love little plastic robots, amen, good on you, go get
yeah.
it. It-
Absolutely. I mean, my favorite thing seeing was when you're in an elevator with someone that doesn't know what kind of convention's going on. they're like, they're like, just trying to go to dinner or something, and there's everyone's like, "Oh, did you get that new G1 Optimus Prime?" Or the
yeah,
Pepsi truck, and they're just like, "What the hell is going
yeah,
on?"
yeah,
But it's those things that passion is contagious. It is when you see people and your people are like, I remember I don't think I saw one angry person. Now, of course, I'm seeing things through rose-colored glasses. Now, behind the scenes, of course, you guys probably deal with that. I mean, you do deal with some that maybe things have happened or whatever it may be or
sure,
whatever situations. But I didn't see many angry people or anything. I just saw people that loved what they got and they were happy with what they got. They're like, "Hey, I got a great deal on this, or I
yeah,
got a great deal on that."
yeah.
So
I don't, I can't recall anyone really can, like, hey man, I got gypped, or I got played. I paid too much money for this, and they took advantage of me. You never hear that stuff
not at
because
all.
people will comparatively price their stuff. No one wants to blow people out of the water. No one wants to take advantage of anyone. Now, that's not to say it doesn't happen, because you definitely see
Correct.
some people like, here, I'll sell you all my six legacy or my five legacy Stunticons for $1,000, and you can take that right back home with you, because no one's going to buy that. But there's someone who's going to try and take a pot shot. Oh, I see Candace in the comments. Hi,
Yes,
Candace.
I was just about to bring Candace up. She brought up TFCon, has been good to me over the years. I wish I could attend more of them because I love seeing everyone. So many great memories and friends. Thank you, Candace. So Candace is wonderful. She's been on our show before. She visits regularly, but she did something really cool for me. I couldn't make TFCon Orlando, but I make hot sauce. And Gary Chalk's a big hot sauce guy. So I mailed her my homemade hot sauce, and she sent me a video of Gary trying it out and in the primal voice talking about my hot sauce. And it was just wonderful. And again, it's just the amazing things that happen at TFCon. It's the people. You guys do a great thing. What you put on is great, but the people there, they just love the community and they help the community. What were the chances that Gary Chalk would ever try my hot sauce? Zero. you know uh it's amazing. So Candace, thank you. It's like having that meme of a guy at a party and everyone else is having a good time. They don't know I have
Yeah,
Haslab Unicron.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
never spend the money on a HasLab Unicron. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I would not drop a dime. I
You'll
paid
drop
20.
at most. You'll drop at most $25.
That's it. It was $20 I got mine for. You know, Derek, I'm making more hot sauce. Okay, I've had craziness where I haven't been able to cook, but I will.
I'm gonna have to hit up some of that hot sauce too, because I also love hot sauce.
So I think I'm going to bring a bunch of it to Chicago.
Good.
You know, and this way we can all sit down and eat it and enjoy it. I had brought bottles to Baltimore, but I gave one to Derek Bigsby, and I don't know if you know Derek, but Derek's an awesome guy.
Yep.
I gave Derek a bottle, and the other bottle I think I just opened up and we all ate it at the dinner with like Nick and Bowser and
Nice.
Chris and everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You know.
So
hey,
yeah, go ahead.
He's happy to see you on the porch.
My wife and I did the Hot Ones challenge years ago, but she had painted it up with a Sharkticon and we called it Not Ones. And we did a whole bunch of like Transformers themed questions with one another. It was cute. It was a good time.
That.
And we made it through all 10. The bomb sucks. Never do it. It's terrible. But everything else is great.
Yeah.
I go for flavor. I like flavor. And
Derek B is good people.
Yeah, definitely. Derek is great. Usually he's here saying hello. Derek's wonderful, man. He's been good to me over the years. He's definitely helped my channel out in ways that other people have not. So, Derek, if you are watching, thank you. But yeah, the hot sauce thing, I will bring some to Chicago. You know,
wonderful.
Only thing is if we do this Thursday to Sunday thing, hopefully there's a karaoke bar and we can all sing some songs.
I hope so.
You know, that's something I'm really looking forward to.
You asked me what some of my favorite memories of TFCON was. I'll tell you, Gary being down in the TFCON Toronto lobby till 2 a.m, playing the guitar, singing along with people like that. Those were wonderful times. We got treated like royalty by those guys. So it was wonderful.
More about Gary. Yeah, he's the best, man. And then Primal Parodies, Candace did try that hot sauce with Gary there. So it's good stuff. The bomb is just too hot.
Amen.
Too angry, terrible sauce. Have fun with friends to try it. And then Derek says, that sounds great. Derek, man, I really hope that you and Nikki ride up with Nadine and I. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to try my first Chicago deep dish pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to drive over that bridge and pretend I'm driving the Illinois Nazis into the river, like in Blues Brothers.
You're not going to visit all the places Ferris Bueller went or anything?
No, I could care less about Ferris Bueller. For me, it's the Blues Brothers memories,
So Ryan, this is an interesting question. So weirdest memory, like what is the weirdest thing that's ever happened at a TFCON?
Yes, they are.
That's not R-rated. I mean,
I was going to say, like how much detail am I allowed to get into on this podcast without you guys getting flagged?
You're good.
Weirdest memory.
We're good.
That's a tough question. What is my weirdest memory? I got frisked, like thoroughly frisked, like 3 knuckles deep at the airport. What was it? Our road hauler exclusive, the green MMC grapple.
Yeah.
Tripped something at TSA and they went ham on me. And Colin's got it all on video. Like I'm getting moved up and down, frisked. Yeah, like
I think Billy's so shocked that he froze.
I got assaulted.
I think Billy's so shocked he froze. We lost Billy for a second. Hopefully he'll get connected again. Billy, if you can hear us, you're frozen.
Another weird memory would probably be stuff that I've shown by mistake that I wasn't supposed to show in the panel.
Oh no!
Infamously, and again, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to show them when I was showing it. But the Fans Project Function X Terracons, like Ape Face and Snapdragon and Hardhead, none of that stuff was supposed to be shown.
And you showed
they sent it to me in the same packet for the slides. So I thought I was supposed to show everything, so I showed it all, and then afterwards, like, hey, you weren't supposed to show like Minerva and Ape Face and Snapdragon. Like, well, then why was it in the pack? They're like, oh, we don't know. So like, I didn't get in trouble, but I whoops. And then the fans were like, where's my damn everything? Like, and like the CADs were moving, like it showed detailed transformations of all three modes and everything. Like it showed everything, and they never came out.
Wow.
Wow.
So that was always embarrassing.
So is there anything, Toronto's coming up. I'm not going to ask for leaks or anything like that, but is there anything really cool that the fans are going to be excited when they see that third party panel? Like, is there like any upcoming figures where they're just going to be like, cheering as if, Kingpin's going to be permitted in a Spider-Man movie?
I hope so. Typically, like how it works for me is I'll send my reminder emails and I'll talk to people and say, hey, it's in 3 months, it's in 2 months, it's in 1 month, it's in 2 weeks, next week. I'll constantly keep my communications open. And how it's supposed to go is I would like all the images by the Monday before the show and the samples by the Wednesday before the show. So that way, if there's anything broken, and there's been plenty of times where we've been up all hours of the night, super gluing prototypes together and making sure things are somewhat show ready. And you'll ask them for a weekend in advance, and they'll give me little hints like, here's what we want to show. They'll kind of like plan it ahead of time, but most of the time, realistically, everyone's off by about 4 days. I'll get most of my images Thursday, and then I sit in my and then because a lot of them they keep it a lot of like close to the chest, so I'll know what's coming, but there'll be revisions. Like I'll get images, and then 10 hours later, they're like, hey, take these slides out and put these ones in instead. We want to do this. And to the naked eye, they're not super different, but there's little things where I've had to pull stuff out.
Sort of like how New Age's dick was completely redesigned. I mean, side strike.
Yeah. Those big ass hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hands
like Charlie's uncle, just huge hands.
It doesn't curve to the left anymore.
Yes, Charlie's uncle. Candace, I'm so sorry about that extra security screening. I did not mean that. Oh man, now I feel bad.
At least it could be worse. Could have been what Ryan went through.
Yeah.
I unfortunately I got kicked while he was telling the story, but that stinks. I thought it was going to be the guy that stole his socks, but it is what it is. I'm just joking.
I'll tell you one of my most guilty memories of TFCon is when someone stole Bryce's prototype for his book. God rest his soul. I miss Bryce. But for those who don't know, Brycey was doing a compendium of all Transformers photos he could take, package art. It was going to be this big, beautiful book, and he put tons of effort into it, like 60 hours a week for months and months and months, trying to compile this stuff and organize it. And he brought 2 prototypes to the show, and one of them got stolen while I was in the panel.
Wow.
What a piece of garbage.
He never found it. They never found it who done it. Everyone has their theories and they'll point a finger, but there's no evidence to say who did it. But they stole that prototype that he worked so damn hard on. And thankfully one of them was still secure at the Aegis 3 and Up booth, but the one that was out with the prototypes got picked off. And to this day, it still bugs me.
Well, maybe somebody will show up at a con and just magically leave it and say nothing and do nothing. That'd be
That would be wonderful. That would be just beautiful.
That's it. Wow. So I know we're getting close to where we turn into pumpkins here on the East Coast. But this is not TFCon related, but what figures are you looking forward to this year? I mean, of anything that's been announced already, nothing that's not unannounced. I know you probably know stuff that's still in the pipeline, but anything that's been announced, what are you excited about?
I guess for third party, I am really looking forward to that Mechanical Skull Studio Demolisher. I think Legend Scale Armada stuff is just the creme de la creme. Like that's
this, baby. Let's
get it into me. I'm really looking forward to the Magic Square Magnus and Six Shot. I think those are
Yes.
going to be stellar. I'd love to see what their. I want them to finish the big fella, the last couple of pieces of Bruticus, and I want them to finish their Dinobots. I think that's. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see. I'm really curious to see how the New Age Stunticons turn out,
Are
because
they
those have
actually
been.
moving forward?
Yeah, they went through development hell and they kind of redoed them, and so they're coming. Really curious about the Craftsman toy stuff. I want to see that the train bots, the little Legends train bots. I want to see that set finished
Yes.
too, because
Cyan
they're
Vulture.
great. Yeah, so
They're
good.
amazing. That company has done great work. That Metroplex, that Scorponok, now
Yeah.
those
Everything
train
they've
bots.
done has been surprisingly good, and
Yeah.
I appreciate them for that. You know, I'd love to get some of them on just to commend them on their work.
Yeah.
You know, or even, you know, or at least if you speak to any of them, I don't want them on. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying let them know that they're knocking
It's
it
not
out
all the
of
good
the park.
words.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all. How about the New Age almost done with season 1 Autobots? Like once they finish
so
those
close.
season 1 bots, that's it. Season 1's done from New Age.
Yeah. I hope they do season 3. I hope I want to see him tackle Hot Rod and Springer and I want to see what they can do, or even try something different. Like I love my G1 stuff, but see what they can do with Unicron Trilogy or Beast Wars. Let them flex a little bit creative muscle. I want to see what they can do.
I believe in New Age. I believe in New Age. Sorry, say their name and they'll appear.
I believe in Harvey Dent.
But hey, so you got me. I want them to finish my seasons 1 through 3 bots, because that's me as a collector. I want that done. So I need somebody, Magic Square, New Age. I want some Protectobots. Like, how do we not have Protectobots yet? That just blows my mind.
Well, I mean, there is the X Transbots ones very, very slowly coming out.
I have the one, and he looks so out of place in my collection because he's a little off on his scale. He's a little big, and then there's nothing to really go with it. Plus his aesthetics, like something about it doesn't have that same look that the Magic Square and the New Age figures have. And I love XTB. I'm not like they've always been a good company. They've always been in my top 5, but the trickle effect with them. I mean, there's still masterpiece figures that are combiners that it's been years and they're not finished yet.
Yeah. No, it for me, it's all design. Like, do you prefer a more masterpiece mechanical or a masterpiece cartoon? And that's where it kind of splits between New Age and Magic Square. Like, what is your personal preference? And, I think for a lot of people, New Age would probably, I think most people would want New Age to tackle Protectobots because I think they'll do an amazing job. But I would love if Magic Square did them too. I'd want Magic Square to do all the combiners. Same with New Age.
Magic Square to me is the king of combiners. They just figured it out. It works. Sure, some of the transformations are a little frustrating, but I mean, the end result's so worth the work. So worth the effort.
100%.
I've been. It depends. Like I'm a toon guy. I like the simpler toon look. I keep both my New Age and Magic Square versions though, because depending on the day of the week, I'm like, you know what, this one looks better on the display.
Yeah.
It just change. I mean, to me, nothing's going to top the New Age Omega Supreme. I think that
what a great figure.
That is the best Omega Supreme in any scale. Like, period. And I've played with the fans' toys. I've played with the DX9. Like, I've messed with them all. That New Age one is just
beautiful.
It's just transformation works. The mechanics, like it has the moving turret. Like everything works. It's so good. I was playing with it today. It's the only reason it's like.
Man, if they could have got that thing to walk, that would have been amazing. But
I'm happy. I'm happy to hear what figures you're looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to what announcements you make at Toronto. Obviously, I'm not going to Canada, but I'm looking forward to what gets shown. And then I can't wait for Chicago.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to both as well.
Absolutely. So, any of y'all that are going to TFCON, make sure you look for Ryan, especially in that
Yeah,
third party panel. So,
Yeah.
You'll see Ryan walking around.
Yep.
You'll,
Big bird, purple shirt.
yeah.
That's how
I
you
will
find
say,
me.
my favorite thing though at Baltimore last year was I walked out of like one of the rooms, and there was somebody in a I want to say Transformers Prime Soundwave costume
Yeah.
on like stilts, and it
Yep.
was so well done. It
Yeah.
was so cool to see, and I was just like, yeah, this is why I love cons. Like, the cosplay section was great. I'm a cosplayer, so to see
Yeah.
like the work and dedication put in and how cool that Starscream looked was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Some of the rigs are incredible.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Absolutely. There was a really good Optimus Primal there. Somebody had like a Primal with fur.
With like fur. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
And I believe he
Tarn
said,
as
like,
well. There was a
Brazil.
good Tarn.
I
Yeah.
saw the Tarn. Yep, absolutely. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something for everybody. I know DevCon was like asking questions. Like, there's an amazing. We didn't even get into the cosplay panels. Like how
Yeah.
you guys do a cosplay competition and people
Yeah.
can show off their work. And how I didn't make it to the cosplay panel, I guess I'll call it. Like, how do you guys like vote the winners? Is that on crowd reaction, or is that judged by
Well,
like panel of judges? Like, how does that go for cosplayers that are thinking of showing up?
So now we actually we changed the verbiage. It's no longer a cosplay contest because it wasn't really fair to call it a cosplay contest. There was no criteria to judge that stuff. It was it was just supposed to be something fun for fans. So I think we call it the cosplay. What's the verbiage he's using now? Showcase. I think it's a cosplay showcase.
Okay.
So we still want to encourage people to dress up because the energy that comes off those people is just phenomenal. To see how excited they get, to see every person that dresses up, whether it's a rig, whether they're a human version or other, or to see the kids dress up, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And then everyone's it's palpable. You can feel the energy from down the hall because people just go nuts for it. And that's, I mean, what better experience could you ask for than people just going insane for it?
Yeah. I loved it. And I couldn't believe I didn't bring it up sooner. That's all. Like, it just like, wait a minute. We didn't talk about any of those amazing costumes. I think somebody was like Rodimus from the IDW comics I saw. That was a pretty sweet costume.
Yeah.
Things that I'm remembering.
Oh yeah,
Tons
of great stuff.
Yeah.
On that.
But yeah, all in all, though, TFCon's been a really positive experience in my book. The people I met were very positive. I saw people brought family, so there's kids too, right? Like it's definitely child friendly. And the panels every panel I made it to was fantastic.
There's so many cool panels.
The boss. I've always enjoyed the cosplayers at TFCon. I'm not sure if you're friends with Timmy or not. Timmy is the mastermind behind this show. So whenever he comes on, it's just nice to have him. Some really talented people every year.
Yeah,
absolutely. I know he's got a table that he's setting up at Chicago. We were talking some ideas for, Chicago, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
And Candace, those cosplays are always well done. I want to
sit with Gary. She probably has to see him sign all sorts of crazy cosplay helmets and clubs and weapons, and you see it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure she's seen some craziness.
Yeah.
But generally though, this is our show. I hope you had a good time with us.
I had a wonderful time. You guys are fantastic. Thank you very much for having me. Thanks for sharing TFCon stuff with our fans, and we hope to see more people come to the show. It's a wonderful time, and I can't imagine being a part of any other fandom, and I think we have just the best fans in the world, and we're all so lucky to be part of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Before we go, Tim asks, will there be an industry get together on Thursday night? I wonder. So are we going to have Thursday? Yeah. Hell yeah. There it is.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You said sleepless nights, and it was true. Like we were up till like 2 in the friggin' morning. It was like I told Jimmy, I'm like, I'm so sorry I didn't spend time with you because I wanted to go meet up with Jimmy at Baltimore. I think Jimmy.
It's okay. I had my REM album on with Everybody Hurts, but that's all right.
But it was just there were so many people to get to, and it was just like oh, I need time in this room. I need time in this room. It's like, it was a lot. But yeah, so we are going to be wrapping up. Wonderful thing called bedtime because work at very early in the morning. I want to thank you personally for being on tonight. I thank you for sharing insights of the show, how it came about, great memories, all that wonderful stuff. We truly are looking forward to all the future TFCons. And I don't want you to get so big that I can't afford tickets anymore. You know?
Never. That is the goal. Is we want to be accessible to everybody. We don't want to price anyone out because, again, at the end of the day, we're all fans. We want to be with our friends. We want to have a wonderful experience ourselves. And you know what? Shout out to everyone at TFCon who doesn't get to share any limelight. Like everyone who works behind the show, like Evan and Paul, who constantly keep the panel room running. Paul Scores will be in there from 5 a.m. till like 11 at night.
Dang.
He's a camel. He doesn't get up. He doesn't go anywhere, and he makes sure things run smooth. Evan handles all the YouTube stuff. He handles all the recording, all the sound mixing, to Holly and Chantel and Lise and Colin and everyone else, and Michaela. And geez, I could go on forever, but honestly, everyone at the show who puts their time in, because you know we don't see it. I want to say thank you to those guys and all those people who are behind the show with myself and with everyone else. I love yous to death, and the show could not work without them.
I appreciate you shouting that out to everybody because we appreciate them for what they do too. You know, obviously, I would love to have everybody on. I know you.
Yeah.
You know.
Of course. No, there's like 700 of us. No, there's like 10, but
you know, but maybe, you know, before one of the big cons, we'll have like just a big live group of, you know, amazing people. You guys put on such a good show and we're so appreciative of it. So thank you. It's a big thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was wonderful. Jimmy, it was nice to meet you.
Jimmy's the best, man. Jimmy's
yeah.
Good.
So this has been a wonderful experience, and I look forward to doing it again sometime.
We would love to have you. Timmy does say thank you to everyone at TFCon for making it such a great show for attendees and a great experience for us vendors. So if vendors are happy too, that's a big deal. You know, it's easy to please a fan, you know, to make someone that's there trying to make money walk away from the table feeling like they had a positive experience. That's a big thing. So
to me, a vendor is a guest just as much as anyone else. You got to treat everyone right, or else there's no one's coming back. And you don't continue a business by telling people to go away. You make sure everyone comes back happy.
So I couldn't agree more. We are going to wrap it up. So as we wrap it up, Ryan, where can people find information on either yourself or TFCon? Like I understand that it's pretty straightforward, but let's just let the people know.
Absolutely. So you can check out all the TFCon socials, tfcon.com, tfcon.ca, TFCon on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You're going to find all those. I myself am on Twitter. My handle is not on Twitter. I go by Jackie Daytonis. You find me on Instagram is not on Insta. And I'm now on Blue Sky is not on Blue Sky. Wow. So you can find me at any of those incredibly confusing handles.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for joining us, making the Forge something special. What we do here is we try to give the community something that they know is for them. We try to pull this community together. In our minds, it's not I'm a G1er, I'm a Bayverser, I'm a Transformers fan here. Right. You know, and this show is for everyone, and we're just trying to make that message spread. And thank you for helping us spread it today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. So we do this thing. It's a Naked Gun type of pause, even though it's still live, but it's